It's Friday, June 2nd, 2023. Happy National Donut Day, and welcome to episode 55 of the Alameda Postcast, an audio service of the Alameda Post. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. In this edition of the Postcast, a few stories related to law enforcement. Police Chief Nishant Joshi sat down with Post publisher Adam Gillett to discuss the role of data-driven policing here in Alameda. This past weekend, 3,000 people showed up to an unpermitted car show at Alameda Point, and APD has opened up applications for the 2023 Community Police Academy. Wise Guys and Whiskey, Alameda author and TCM host Eddie Muller guides us through film noir-inspired cocktails. Encinal softball's Cinderella season comes to an end in the championship game. The Alameda Anchors opened their season with a win. A Webster Street favorite is expanding to Bay Farm, and Starlight Movies in the Park continues Friday night. These stories and more on this edition of the Alameda Postcast. Our top story: for 2 years now, Nishant Joshi has served as the Chief of Police for Alameda. Last June, he instituted a policy of data-driven policing, a concept he was familiar with from his time with the Oakland PD. The idea is to find patterns and act accordingly. As officers collate data from different crimes, citations, stops, and arrests, patterns become clear, and the data becomes actionable intelligence. The majority of major crimes in Alameda are property crimes: larceny, robbery, burglary, and yes, motor vehicle thefts. These account for 95 to 97% of Alameda's Part 1 crimes. That tier of crimes also includes violent crimes like murder, rape, assault, and arson, which occur at comparatively low rates in Alameda. APD staff regularly prepares multiple reports to keep track of crime activity and statistics: a 24-hour report, a 72-hour report, a 96-hour report, a 2-week report, and a 4-week report. This variety of reports allows officers to compare both short and long-term trends. They also compare data from previous years and other cities in the region to review trends. Chief Joshi acknowledged that catalytic converter thefts are a major focus of the department and indicated that some positive news on that front was on the way. Looking at the data tends to reveal the differences between perception and reality. While many would say that catalytic converter thefts are trending upwards, according to Chief Joshi, there's actually been a 35% decrease. The chief did admit that APD faces one problem that all the data in the world won't solve: staffing issues. As of now, the department sits at 30% below full staffing. He noted, quote, "You can have all the tools, you can have all the toys, but operating them? People solve crimes. License plate readers give you leads, but it's actually people who solve the crime." End quote. Currently, the city has received 150 applications for 24 open positions. I've just scratched the surface of Chief Joshi's sit-down with Post publisher Adam Gillett, a conversation that also touched on how the department divides the city into 3 sections: response times, data analytics, bias confirmation, and more. For the full article, see alamedapost.com/news. APD was a bit busy over Memorial Day weekend, especially as 3,000 people and 1,000 cars descended upon Alameda Point for an unpermitted car show on Sunday. With the assistance of the California Highway Patrol, 64 citations were issued and 2 vehicles were towed. Reaction to the event was mixed, with some residents saying the event was largely peaceful and others noting that speeding vehicles on surrounding streets made for unsafe conditions. According to APD's Facebook page, the event is being reviewed further, and more enforcement action may follow. A final note from the APD: applications are now open for residents to be part of this year's Community Police Academy. During this 9-session program, community members will learn about their police department's daily operations, policies, procedures, and training. Details on APD's Facebook page and the city website. Alameda, the island, home to tough guys and strong drinks. And Eddie Muller is just the man to be your tour guide. If you're a fan of film noir, those old-school crime dramas that celebrated hard-boiled detectives and the dangerous world they lived in, you're probably familiar with Eddie Muller. Eddie's the host of Noir Alley on Turner Classic Movies, producer of the Noir City Film Festivals, and a prolific writer. And while he was born in San Francisco, he's called Alameda home for 32 years. His latest book is entitled Eddie Muller's Noir Bar: Cocktails Inspired by the World of Film Noir. In the book, Eddie provides recipes for classic cocktails as well as 10 brand new creations and pairs each with an appropriate film from the genre he knows best. One of Eddie's new creations was inspired by the Orson Welles film The Lady from Shanghai. Sailor Beware features Irish whiskey, green chartreuse and ginger liqueur, and an absinthe rinse. But not everything Eddie does is grown-ups only. Along with partner Jessica Schmidt, he's releasing a new kids' picture book, Kitty Farrell and the Case of the Marshmallow Monkey. It features a hard-boiled cat detective and a cast of underworld animals including mutts, raccoons, and birds. Of course, the illustrations are in black and white. East Bay journalist and former Children's Fairyland executive director C.J. Hirschfield has contributed a delightful article to the Alameda Post, where she sat down with Eddie at the oh-so-noirish Forbidden Island. Welcome aboard, C.J. Find the article at alamedapost.com/features. Last Saturday, the Encinal Jets softball team made their way to the North Coast Sectional Division III Championship game, where they faced the top-ranked Pinole Valley Spartans. This marked the Jets' first appearance in the title round, which unfortunately ended with a 6-1 loss. The Jets were able to lay claim to quite an achievement. That one run was the only run the Spartans gave up all postseason. The Jets are in a great position for next season. The entire starting lineup will be back in 2024. For a full recap, see Joshua Linville's article at alamedapost.com/features. Speaking of action on the diamond, the Alameda Anchors of the Bay Area Collegiate League got their baseball season off to a great start, shutting out the West Coast Kings 2-0. The Anchors are on the road for the next few games, but return to Pat Bale Field at College of Alameda next Wednesday to face the NorCal Warriors. For details and schedules, visit alamedaanchorsbaseball.com. One of Webster Street's favorites is expanding. Café Jolie has announced that they'll be opening a second location, Café Jolie Petite, at 1501 Harbor Bay on Bay Farm Island. Look for the new location to be open in July, serving coffee and a petite version of the Webster Street menu. Last week, I reported that Altarena Playhouse opened a true American classic, a soldier's play. The 1982 Pulitzer Prize winner is in its second weekend. Our own Gene Kahane was duly impressed, calling it magnificent and praising the cast, saying, quote, "This ensemble is as strong and talented and believable as you may have ever seen," end quote. He also noted that with the play's strong ties to both the military and baseball, a soldier's play is perfectly suited to Alameda, and that it's a show that, quote, deeply deserves to be seen. The show runs through June 25th. See Gene's full review and a link to tickets at alamedapost.com/features. While you're there, check out Denise Lum's review of Alameda High School's Spring Dance Showcase, 21 numbers across a broad range of styles. Many of the routines featured student-led choreography. Denise noted that the audience included people who had no particular connection to the school or the dancers and were still impressed with what they saw. Again, pictures and a complete review at alamedapost.com/features. From the stage to the screen, Starlight Movies in the Park's June entry is tonight at Alameda Point Multipurpose Field. Treat yourself to a free showing of Minions: Rise of Gru. I have to admit, I was extremely entertained by the latest entry in the franchise. No barbecue grills, alcohol, or pets. Event starts at 6:30. Film begins around 8:30. Rated PG. Saturday morning, start your day by joining the Post's Walking History Tours as we present Determining Architectural Styles with Dennis Evanowski. This is the same tour that was held last Saturday. Learn all about the various styles here on the island. To reserve your tickets and to see what's in store on the upcoming tours, visit alamedapost.com/tours. Steve Gorman has been bringing you his Alameda Treasures series for over a year now. This week, he's branched out a bit and presents a Bay Area treasure, Big Break Regional Shoreline. Steve's an avid kayaker, but his failure to check the tide schedule made for a sticky situation. Literally. Well, Steve's none the worse for wear, and he brought back some great stories and beautiful pictures. alamedapost.com/features. alamedapost.com/events, your source for happenings all across the island. I've already mentioned a few of this weekend's events, but there's more to choose from. Don't forget the Farmers Market, Saturday from 9 to 1 at Hayton Webster. First Saturday of the month, that means it's time for the Little Flippers class at the Pacific Pinball Museum for kids aged 5 to 12. From noon until 5 on Saturday, head over to St. Joseph Notre Dame High School for the Bay Area Carnivorous Plant Society Show and Sale. The show is free, great for families, and there'll be music, raffles, and more. The school is at 1011 Chestnut Street. Saturday at 1, the USS Hornet Speaker Series continues with the Battle of Midway. Chuck Myers will be the featured speaker. He knows of what he speaks. He was the Navy advisor for the 2019 film Midway. Also, Sunday brings the monthly Alameda Points Antiques Fair. Again, details on these and other events at alamedapost.com/events. Thank you for supporting local news for Alameda. Join us as a member at alamedapost.com/memberships. Remember, you can also find us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Mastodon, as well as our own subreddit. Find the Postcast wherever you get your podcast, or simply tell your smart device to play the Alameda Postcast podcast. I'm your host, Scott Peeler. I'll be back next Friday with episode 56 of the Alameda Postcast. Special thanks to FesleyanStudios.com for that great film noir music.